Kurt Cobain wasn't just the frontman of Nirvana. He was the voice of a generation. His raw songwriting, his honesty about pain, and the explosion of grunge made him one of the most influential artists of the 1990s. When he died in 1994 at just 27, the world was told it was self-inflicted. Case closed. But the investigation that followed was fast, and critics say it was incomplete. Police ruled almost immediately. There was no detailed reconstruction of the shooting, no deep blood pattern analysis, no examination of whether Cobain, with a massive amount of heroin in his system, could physically operate the shotgun. The fingerprints on the weapon were unreadable, and the scene appeared unusually tidy to be self-inflicted. These gaps fueled decades of questions, documentaries, and private investigations. Over the years, several names surfaced in public speculation, not as official suspects, but as people the media focused on. Courtney Love, Cobain's wife, was the most discussed due to their turbulent marriage and the emotional chaos in his final months. Michael DeWitt, the live-in nanny, was one of the last people to see Cobain alive, and a musician known as El Duce claimed someone offered him money to do in Cobain, though his story was never proven. None of these individuals were ever charged, and no evidence has linked them to a crime. Now, decades later, a new independent forensic review is challenging the official story again. Forensic specialist Brian Burnett and researcher Michelle Wilkins re-examined the autopsy and crime scene materials using modern techniques that didn't exist in 1994. According to their analysis, several findings don't line up with the original conclusion. They point to internal organ damage that resembles a heroin OD more than an instantaneous gunshot death. They argue that certain physical indicators suggest Cobain may have been restrained. They highlight blood pattern inconsistencies and item placement that look more like staging than a spontaneous act. And they propose a theory. Cobain may have been incapacitated by a lethal dose of heroin, then shot, with the scene arranged afterward. The new report doesn't accuse anyone. It doesn't name suspects. Its goal is to push for transparency and a re-evaluation of the case. But its conclusions have reignited global attention and reopened a debate that never truly went away. Kurt Cobain changed music forever, and now, decades later, the story of his death is being questioned again, not by conspiracy theorists, but by forensic specialists who believe the evidence deserves a second look. The link to the full video is in the description, but it's age-restricted, so you'll have to be logged in to watch. What do you think about the Cobain case? Let me know in the comments. If you're a Cobain fan, throw me a thumb. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.